Today is day 18 of the legislative session. We are almost a third of the way through. If I was a third of a way through on a pizza, I would be getting full and ready to stop. But here in Olympia, the legislators are just getting started and they are still hungry. As you heard last week from Marissa, the easy bills are making their way through the committees and getting votes on the floor. But the more divisive or controversial bills are now facing the upcoming first cutoff. January 31st, bills must be out of their policy committees in the House of Origin. Now, let's talk a little bit about why the legislature is set up that way. Students often ask me, why is it so hard to pass a law? If there's problems, shouldn't the system be set up to fix those problems? Well, I want to say, yes, absolutely. There are some reasons why these roadblocks are in place, and all of them have to do with time and money. People have different ideas about how to fix things, and if we gave everyone all the time in the world to discuss things, nothing would ever get done. Also, there's only so much money to spend. All laws, almost, cost something to implement, and there's only so much money to go around. And therefore, there must be discussion around how to best spend the funds allocated in the budget. And, well, that takes time. We also have a part-time citizens legislature, so they're only here, well, part-time. And while this may have some drawbacks for the timeliness of legislation, it does benefit society by ensuring that our legislators are also in their communities more often and not just hidden away in the rooms of the Capitol. This allows them to bring the voices of their constituents to the committee meetings and the work sessions, but it also means that there's only so much time to pass legislation, time and money. So, in thinking about how the system is designed to only pass a very small percentage of bills into laws, let's see where our 3 bills are in the 9-step process of a bill becoming law. First things first, they're all still alive, and all of them are on step 3 or 4 of the 9-step process. Let's review the steps so far. Feel free to put me on 2 times speed for this quick review.
Step 1, introduced in the House or Senate. That happened for us way long ago on day 1 of session. We have 1 House bill, the Rewrap Act, and 2 Senate bills, the Environmental Crimes Bill and the Beaver Bill. An easy way to tell which body they began in, HB means House Bill, and SB means Senate Bill. House bills are numbered 1,000 to 3,999, and Senate bills are numbered 5,000 through 7,999. Step 2.
Committees. The committee studies the bill, holds public hearing, and maybe takes executive action on the bill. This, of course, means that they vote. To move to step 3, a majority of the members have to vote aye. Remember, the chair of the committee decides whether to bring the bill up for a vote. This is a lot of power. If there's no vote, the bill is dead. If there are more nays than ayes, the bill is dead. But if the bill is lucky enough to have enough ayes, they go to the next step, step 3, fiscal committees. If the bill costs money, which most bills do, it will go to the body's fiscal committee. In the House, this is called appropriations, which is where our Rewrap Act is. And in the Senate, it's called Ways and Means, which is where our Beaver Bill currently is. If, and it really is a big if, they pass out of the fiscal committees, they will go on to step 4. Step 4 is the Rules Committee. And despite the name, no rules are actually made in this committee. They are the gatekeepers who decide which bills get to move for a vote of the whole body. The Rules Committee is made up of members of both parties, and each member gets to decide 2, maybe 3 bills out of all of them that will get to move on to step 5. There are a lot of politics behind why or why not which bills get to move forward, and Marissa will discuss them in her video. Step 5 is where the bill will go to the floor of the House or the floor of the Senate for a vote of all the members. Remember, in the committees, there's only about 5 or 10 members discussing and voting on a bill, but once it reaches the floor, all 98 members for House bills or 49 members for Senate bills have the opportunity to debate the bill, suggest amendments, and vote on whether it should continue in the process. So, to recap, House Bill 2049, the Rewrap Act, is on step 3. It has been referred to the House Appropriations as it will cost a lot of money to implement, but it has yet to be scheduled for a public hearing there. It has until February 5th to pass out of that committee and go to the Rules Committee. So I guess we'll see. 5884, the Environmental Crimes Bill, is on step 4. It is in the Rules Committee, but it has been scheduled for a second reading on the floor. So really it's kind of step 5. Amendments can be suggested and adopted in step 5 as well, so we'll have to see how that bill changes once it's on the floor of the Senate. Senate Bill 5846, our little critter bill, the Beaver Bill. Just today, the Senate Agriculture, Water, Natural Resources, and Parks Committee, again, a really long name, had an executive session on the bill. While it did pass out of committee, there were some amendments raised. It is really obvious that some behind-the-scenes work was going on since last week. We will talk about the politics behind these amendments next week, but like the Rewrap Act, it has until February 5th to move it out onto the Rules Committee. This week, I had the opportunity to take student questions and interview a representative from the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife about the intricacies of the beaver bill and how the executive branch works with the legislature. Take a look. I found the conversation so enlightening, and I really hope that you do too. So, what does all this complicated stuff mean? Well, Marissa will explain it all. You can count on her. But the real thing is, things are moving along. People are getting stressed out. They might be getting more gray hair. We don't know. And then, really, money talks and money matters. So the hearings in the fiscal committees will make a huge difference as to whether the bills move on to the next step. Where we stand now, the bills have made it past the first cutoff, and while they may be only running at half strength due to their fiscal impacts, we can continue to track them for at least another couple of weeks. And right now, I'm going to go finish my pizza. Thanks.